Welcome back, guys. Been a minute since we did a video with It's Complicated. Let's get into it. This one is about body count.
Who is more likely to lie about how long they've gone without sex, men or women?
I would say men.
Men.
For sure.
Definitely.
I feel like men would pretend like it's shorter.
Okay, I feel like women would want to make it seem like they'd gone for longer without sex.
Don't men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I think slut shaming.
Because there's a stigma around women having sex.
Because women don't want to seem like whores.
Yeah, I don't want to seem like a whore.
Yeah, men do lie about getting more because they want to seem like they're just cool. Like, yeah, I get bitches.
Why are women who sleep around seen as sluts while men who sleep around are seen as studs?
It's a very good question.
A very good question.
I guess it.
How do they not know the answer to this? It's very simple. In between your pants is something everybody else wants. In between a man's pants is something nobody else wants. One has inherent value. This is just stemming down from biology. Nature deemed it expensive to have a uterus and a baby. Gestation is 9 months. Squirting off your seed as a man, absolutely cheap. One man can populate an entire town effortlessly. Therefore, men are expendable. In reproductive terms, they're not important. A woman is. Then society sprouts up and we're given our value from this baseline framework. This is how it is. This is how it'll always be, no matter what they tell you.
Like going back in time, that might be how it was, but we're here for 2023 and we're here for equality, like we said.
Could it be because it's easier for a woman to be a slut?
Ooh.
So brain dead. It blows my mind that this is like, well, you would deem it to be common sense, but it isn't here. Just look, man, this is, I told you, red flag.
Nope.
Someone who's done so little in critical thinking, it's, I mean, red flag. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flags all around.
Could it be because it's easier for a woman to be a slut?
Ooh. I don't know what that means.
A slag.
Yeah, no, we do know what it means.
I know what that means.
What's the difference between shaming a woman for being a slut and shaming a man for being an incel? In other words, why are women shamed for having too much sex while men are shamed for not getting any sex?
Because they expect women to just be just as pristine as possible. They don't want a woman that's ran through. They don't want a woman that's had so much experience.
Because a man with not having sex means that shows he has less value. But if a woman having too much sex, that shows that she has less value.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
That's true.
Well, is incel more like men who become violent when they don't have sex? And sluts generally aren't violent. So that's the big difference.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
I think you can choose, if we're going down the violence route, you can definitely choose to be violent.
What? How? Okay, first of all, he should have explained to them what incel actually means. It's just a guy that can't have sex. He wants to have sex, but no women deem him attractive enough to sleep with. It had nothing to do with violence whatsoever. It's literally involuntarily celibate. You're celibate involuntarily. End it there. Now let's continue. You can choose to open your legs to any man. You can go to any bar. You can sleep with a guy every single day of your life until you pass away. It's that easy. You could open up Tinder. Man, it's impossible for men to understand just how easy it really is that a woman can open up Tinder and she can look disgusting and she can open up dating apps and swipe right on thousands of matches and can get a guy to come over every single night. Not just a guy, multiple guys. She could say, hey, I'm free for a coffee date to 50 matches. Some guy's going to say, yeah, I'm down for the coffee date. And then you just sit there for 10 minutes after your coffee, say, what are you doing in the next hour? Let's go to your place. Literally, the guy will invite her over or go over to her place, get the easy layup and be done with it. She can sleep with multiple men every single day. A man can't even fathom reaching this level until you attain something like notoriety, fame, massive amounts of power and wealth. Women are just born with this ability. Inherently, they have it because of the biological underpinnings of how we're valued. They can't fathom. It's literally impossible. They've gotten attention their whole lives. It's so hard for a woman to put herself in a man's shoes and understand what it really means for the opposite sex to see you as invisible. And even when they hit the wall, and even when they start collecting cats, they're still suitors. They're still little boy toys that want to take a cougar out for a spin. They're still even older guys than the cougar that are still down, like a 7-year-old is down to smash a 40-year-old, whatever, 50-year-old. You know what I mean? They still have options. It's not involuntary. It's just that the men they want to sleep with aren't the men they would choose. It's not their type. It's the leftover guys quote, for them. Therefore, they rather not have sex at all. It's like the kid who's used to going in the candy store getting everything he wants. And then when all you can have is a Kit Kat instead of the whole store, you complain. It's still sweet. It's still chocolate, but it's shit now because you're used to having access to the entire store. Well, the entire store is closed now. You only get 1-2 bars at most. That's essentially what's happening. And because they've been spoiled their whole lives of having the whole store, they turn their nose up at the 2 bars of Kit Kat. Ugh. If I can't have the whole store, I don't even want the Kit Kat. Done. Or that Kit Kat is not even as good as half those Belgian chocolates from the store I'm used to having. Now I have to step down to a stupid Kit Kat. You know, like this is essentially what's happening. But in the dating market, they can never understand, man. A man is just walking by the candy store, window shopping, just looking through the motherfucker going, wow, that's amazing. Oh, that must taste amazing. Oh my God, look at the price of that. Can't afford that one. And then one day he scrounges up enough pennies for the door to open and be allowed in, but most of it is out of your price range. So most guys just shop what they could afford, aka settling with someone on your sexual market value level. And they go, okay, well, I could afford this lower Kit Kat here or this one piece of Reese's, so I'll try out this Reese's. That's how men get to pick. It's only when you start to get more experience in life. You're in your 30s, you've built some businesses, you're starting to make a ton of money, you're self-sufficient, that you can kick the fucking door down, put a wad of cash on the table and just say, I'll take all of them from that row, all of them from that row. And that's how you have, quote, the players. These guys that have busted their ass, now they've made it. They're the top percentile of men. And they go, you know what? I've been denied this candy store for so goddamn long that now that I'm busting through this motherfucker, I'm gonna eat every single piece I see and can get with my own 2 hands because I could afford it all now. This is the game, man. This is like the metaphor of the game, essentially. And they'll never get that. It's just so alien. Even we can't even fathom what it's like to get compliments every day, to have people coming up to you and just telling you you're attractive, to just cause you exist, the whole door's open for you all to trip over you and help you, to hand you free shit, to give you discounts randomly just because they want something out of you. Sex. Like a man gets 1-2 compliments. How many compliments, like tell me in the comment section, have you guys gotten in your entire life? And I bet you guys will count on one hand and they can accurately retell the story and exactly what happened when they got a compliment. It's actually mind-blowing that when a man receives a simple compliment, he's like floored. Wow, this never happens. Crazy, dude. We might as well be living on different planets. Luckily, even though the journey for a man is harder in that sense, Father Time is much kinder to us, okay? Nature is much kinder to women. Time is much kinder to men. That's how this whole equation keeps a balance.
And you should always choose not to.
Who are the bigger slut shamers, men or women?
Damn, I'm gonna say women.
Men. Although women are guilty of it too, and we should really support each other, I feel.
It's giving internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
If a woman's body count doesn't matter, why is it typically the first thing women bring up to shame another woman they are jealous of?
Internalized misogyny.
But I also don't think that, well, personally speaking, I don't know anyone who would do that to shame another woman. I think anyone I know would be like proud of their number.
Why are there men who will shame women for...
Man, why didn't he ask? Why didn't he ask? That was a perfect moment. Okay, what's your body count? The moment she said, I think everybody I know would be proud. Cool, what's your body count? And then watch the immediate reversal. I'm surprised he didn't catch him with that.
Also complaining about how hard it is to get laid.
Insecurity.
They're jealous.
What are they jealous about?
Not getting enough sex.
I think that has to do with like being bitter.
What are those men bitter about?
They bitter about how women can easily get it, but for them, it takes them more effort. Like it's effortless for women to have sex.
That's not it at all. It just comes from the fact that they've been lied to. The wool's been over their eyes since birth. You're taught you're supposed to respect a woman. You're supposed to be a gentleman. You're supposed to get her flowers. And when you do all these things correctly and be a good little boy, you're going to have a suitor. And then what happens is you befriend a girl. You typically end up liking her, if not already. That's your crush. And then you watch her through the years get pumped and dumped by the very men you've been taught not to be like. She's constantly getting railed, talking in your ear after every night of getting dumped by Chad, how he's such an asshole, how I can't believe he treats me this way, how she constantly goes back to him. You just gave her advice. Why don't you just stop seeing this guy? He seems like a jerk. And goes, I don't know. He just makes me feel a certain way. And then goes back to him. And you watch this happen over and over again. And then by the time you grow a little pair of nuts, yourself as a man, blue pillar, to say, hey, I find you attractive after she's been pumped by 50 dudes and dumped by all of them. I'd like to take care of you. She laughs in your face.
Bruh.
She tells you, ha ha ha. I see you as just a friend, Timmy. You're like a little brother to me. That's gross.
Oh my God.
And your heart is shattered, and the transformation hopefully begins for you. For some men, they don't jump straight into the self-improvement. They either get strung along for years, or they internalize that resentment and then begin exhibiting it in weird ways, like being passive-aggressive, all emotional and short-tempered with the girl that's his friend, or just women in general, starting to post like crazy radicalized comments under videos about how all women are this, all women ain't that. You know what I mean? But this is essentially the path that men take when they arrive to this bitter place.
The man want to have sex, he actually got to earn that.
What is the difference between the women men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
One's a slut and one's like wifey, you know?
Do men want virgins or sluts?
Virgins, I feel like.
No, they want sluts.
No, but they want virgins to keep as a wife, but they want a slut to, you know.
What's the difference between a slut and
Yeah,
a hoe?
just
A slut in the hole, man. Hey, I got two definitions for that. I'm just give you one though. You know what I'm saying? A slut. I'll say a slut is just a broad that just. But a hoe, you know what I'm saying? She f***ing for benefits.
Don't hoes get paid?
yeah.
Hoes get paid.
Yes, sir.
A hoe does it for
Perfect.
money, and a slut just goes with everyone for
It's a free hoe.
fun. It's a free hoe.
Yeah, and unfortunately, most of these street queen walkers prowling the streets at night are free hoes. And the free hoes that are lower than the hoes getting paid tell you that they're bringing the table. Their presence is enough. It's giving muse energy. I'm going to turn you into a man. I'm going to inspire you to be better. What kind of shit is that?
Bruh.
Why are we more concerned with women's body count than women hating men? Wouldn't having sex with men count as pro-men rather than hating men?
Definitely. I'll definitely be pro man.
So shouldn't we be hoe-shaming rather than slut-shaming?
No.
I feel like we should be slut shaming, not hoe shaming.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because hoes,
They get to the bread.
they're basically, it's a job. That's what they do.
I respect them.
So shouldn't we be hoe-shaming rather than slut-shaming?
Nah. I don't think we should be doing any of those, man. They both benefit us.
Where is the line between a man
Perfect.
feeling entitled to a woman's body versus a woman feeling obligated to put out?
There should be no line. The women should just feel able to do that at any point without any obligations.
Do women feel like they need to provide sex in order to keep a man? And if so, why?
Absolutely. Because it's a need for a lot of men, for a lot of people.
So then how can men be shaming women for having high body counts if they want sex?
They shouldn't be.
So do men want purity or do men want sex?
Damn. I feel like short term, man just wants some pussy. But like long term, yeah, he wants somebody that nobody ever touched before. Like he'll have like this female right here on the left side. That's why I think polygamy is good for men. Like, okay, this is my slut right here. This is my girl right here. You know, there's more women than there is men
Perfect.
anyway.
Why does society keep trying to shame women that clearly have no shame?
Because confidence.
There's a slut right there. And here's my wifey right here. That's already happening. They're called side pieces. My God. Hey, everyone. If you have a minute, please head over to legionofmen.store and grab yourself some cool merch as well. We have a bunch of limited edition designs, brand new stuff on the way, and all the proceeds go to supporting the channel. We don't want to be sponsored by corporations where we have to submit videos for review, have our speech impeded, or push any products that we don't use. So thank you so much to everybody that goes into the shop. Again, it's legionofmen.store. I'll put it up here for you guys. First time customers get a 10% off, and we have a bunch of great designs by artists from the community that watch the channel and support. They get proceeds as well, a percentage of everything that gets sold. So community funded through and through. And it's no synthetic fibers on any on our products. We're using cotton only, of course. I got your back from all those chemicals from synthetic fibers. Again, appreciate you guys. Let's continue.
Scares people.
Where is the line between a man feeling entitled to a woman's body versus a woman feeling obligated to put out?
The line for it is if a man approaches me and says, I think you should f me because I'll buy you this new Gucci purse, that's the line. If a woman walks up on you and says, oh, I'm drunk and I'm just throwing my body at you, that's the line. We should both be mutually sober and agree to having this interaction.
But the one that says yes to the Gucci bag is also sober and consented. And which one just benefited more? The one that got a bag worth thousands of dollars, or the one that's pissed drunk and just gave it up for free? Like, do they think when they say these things?
Do women feel like they need to provide sex in order to keep a man, and if so, why?
Some women do, and they feel that way because they've never been shown real love by a man.
Ladies, if a guy puts you in a situation where you really is like, hey, if you don't put out, it's over. Like, listen, you really need to call a hotline number. Like, don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to music. Don't listen to nothing. Listen to the hotline. That's it.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex, while also shamed for trying to get sex?
That is, that's a good question, man. That's like a real hypocrisy. I would say men are shamed for getting sex because women, they hate to admit when a man has finesse. When a man can finesse his way to getting some, she don't want to admit that she participated in that. And then when he doesn't get none, I don't think women really shame men for not.
No, it's competition anxiety. She hates the fact that you're so successful with other women, but also can't help but find it attractive because it's like it's a one-up. It's social proof for women. Women take their value based on the men they can attract. We know this. So once she's attracted you, she wants you to cut all that other shit out. Stop fishing. It's the Patrice O'Neal skit, right? A man is a fisherman. Women are the fish. You're trying to catch the nicest fish. Once the fish gets in the boat, she wants to stay in the boat. And that's really what it is. But while she's in the waters, in the wild, on the streets, she loves all those aspects about you, all the game, all the flirting, the nice smile, the looking fresh, all this stuff. It's only once she's secured you in a quote relationship that she wants all. That's why so many women try to control their men in relationships and try to change them, which inevitably self-sabotages the relationship because they try to turn their men into something they were never attracted to in the first place. This is why as a man, you have to maintain your boundaries. From the get-go, when you get into a relationship, you have to be your own person and you can never change for her. It sounds counterintuitive. We've been told communication, compromising, all this shit. No, that's not really what a good relationship is about. It's about a man standing on his own, chasing a goal bigger than the woman, never putting her on the pedestal, always being on his mission, always improving, and maintaining that quote frame the entire time because she has to feel like it's difficult to manipulate you. It's impossible for her to ever get one up on you, to be better than you. The worst thing you can do for your woman in a relationship is allow her to get better than you. You've essentially failed the test. You were a man before. You had all these check marks she loved. She then got in a relationship with you, and then you fucked it all off. You got fat, you got lazy, you stopped doing your hobbies because you thought this would make her happy, like a bozo. And then you turn into this weak version of yourself, and now she's gained the upper hand in the power dynamics in your relationship, and then walks away when a guy that's basically you, when you met her, starts to chat her up again. And now she gets feelings and monkey branches to the next guy. And that's how most men lose their girlfriends and their wives. How many more stories do you have to hear about? Yeah, and I gained some weight and I just wasn't myself anymore and I didn't do all my hobbies and her life intertwined with mine and I started watching her shows and doing everything she wanted and I was never putting my foot down and didn't tell her no because I wanted to be happy, blah, 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 blah.
Nope.
Beta!
Don't make that mistake. She's a cherry on top to your life. She's not the fucking cake. Your mission in life is the cake. She just fits nicely on top as an extra. That's it.
Not getting none. It's really men that shame men for not getting none. Because men, we're very competitive. So we trying to put another man down to make ourselves look better.
Why do guys say they want good girls but are attracted to sluts, while girls say they want good guys but are attracted to the players?
Sluts are easy, good girls are hard, players are fun, good guys are boring.
Well, how can we be simultaneously coaching men on how to seduce women while also shaming women for having high body counts?
You can't. It's like they cancel each other. Like, how you going to try to teach men to seduce a woman, and then when she gets seduced, you shame her for it? Like, you know, it has to be a balance. I think that they kind of cancel each other out.
So do men want purity or do men want sex?
I feel like we want both, man. Like, you know.
So who's more likely to not know what they want, men or women?
Women, for sure.
Honestly, men don't know what they want because if they have a slut, they have someone more experienced. And if they have a virgin, they're going to be prideful because they're the only one a woman has slept.
And when a man sleeps with a virgin, they believe that that woman belongs to them. No one else can touch them because they took that from them. They believe the woman is now their property and that no one else has access to them.
What is the difference between the women men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
What's the difference between those women? Madonna whore complex. Was dating back to Freud now, really.
Can you explain the Madonna whore complex?
Yeah, so it's this dichotomy between the whore and the Madonna, and it's like what you just said, women that men want to sleep with and like wife up, if you will.
She didn't explain anything.
And the wifey material versus
pure, but one, gives them the fantasy they desire.
Exactly, the excitement.
Yeah.
Do men want virgins or sluts?
Men want a freak in the sheets and a lady on the streets.
A freak in the sheets and a lady in them streets. Fuck you talking about?
How many bodies is too many?
The limit does not exist.
Depends on the person.
Does being promiscuous affect a person's ability to have a long-term relationship?
No. As long as it's not promiscuous within a monogamous relationship.
Exactly.
Damn. Damage. You see the West? Why would you waste your time on these? Seriously, man. Go where you're appreciated. Go where values and morals are still traditional. It's a lost cause. Look at how convinced they are of what they're saying. And they haven't critically thought about any of the information they were fed from whatever source, whatever liberal college they went to. Not a single one questioned anything they were told. Just yes, yes, NPC. Like this. Yes, yes. Ice cream, so good. Yeah. Internalized misogyny. Patriarchy, bad. Toxic masculinity. Yep. Bloop, 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 bloop. Like this is it. No brains, no thinking. And you expect this to be made into a wife? How, bro? I'm sorry, but living out here in Eastern Europe, and soon I'll be traveling to Southeast Asia and other parts of the world, South America, I can't wait to see just how everybody else is living, how grounded people are, because just walking around out here, just talking to people here, blows your mind. Like nobody in these parts of the world wants America. Not anybody I've asked wants American values exported into their country. They're looking at the West in general as a failed society. It's crazy to see. No matter the opulence and how far ahead they are, we all see the coming chapter of the fall of the decadent West, and we want to get away from it.
I think being promiscuous is fine, but obviously knowing the line is the most important thing.
If you're promiscuous, that means you're having sex with multiple people. And because of that, you start having expectations, which are unrealistic. So that could absolutely affect your sexual relationship and even just like your relationship on connecting with the opposite sex in general.
Being with one person is how we actually are able to really become free to explore our sexuality to the true depths that it can reach. I mean, like, you can't do that with one night stands and random hookups from Tinder.
Well, a lot of women assume that men just want hookups, and if that's true, why would so many men care about a woman's body count?
I don't know if a man would care about a woman's body count for a hookup. It's this kind of question I get asked like when I'm dating or like in a relationship. But if I was hooking up with someone for like a one night stand or something casual, I'm not so sure I'd be asked. I don't think I ever have been asked.
So do you think it...
Yeah, keep telling on yourself. And no one wants to get Logan Paul. Look what's happening with him and his fiance's soon-to-be wife, whatever the hell that situation is. I don't see that lasting much longer, man. The amount of social stigma, shame, reputation damage, and reputation control he's trying to do. I mean, the guy's not well in the head. He looks like he's about to lose it. In all the interviews he has, he's hanging on by a thread. This is all because you chose to turn a hoe into a housewife. And then she literally filed a restraining order on the guy you're about to fight. For somebody that said, because his initial thing in the interviews was, we don't care, we're in the public limelight, we understand this is just promo for the fight. If it's just promo, if it's not affecting your relationship, your personal life whatsoever, because you understand what it means to be, quote, famous and be in the public eye, why are you filing a restraining order? Why are you contacting people and offering them money to take down posts making fun of your woman? Why are you screaming on podcasts? The only way to relieve some of the emotional pressure you're feeling. It's sad, man. This dude has it all. He's a blonde, tall, shredded white dude with blue eyes. I think he has blue eyes. I don't fucking know. And a multimillionaire. And look at the shit he's going through for getting a loose woman. And apparently there's so much video evidence that this guy's holding back because it's probably illegal to release. And would absolutely floor Logan to see that shit. Like if she was that active, or take any promiscuous woman, just ask yourself, how many phones of strange men have videos of them intimately together doing shit? How many home videos do you think exist of your woman? Do you want to wake up one day to a DM in Instagram or on Facebook talking about, haha, I just seen you got married to this local chick. Here's a cool video for you. Just because the guy's pissed, maybe the relationship didn't work out. That video's been saved in his phone for who knows how long. And then boom, you just get blasted with videos of your chick getting ran through at college. by the football team, or getting double teamed from some random Tinder date, or God knows what, moaning in ways you never could make. I mean, dude, we could make so many of these scenarios up, but the reality is it's highly probable if your woman is loose with it and giving it to every guy that she's also filmed herself doing stuff, that there's evidence out there in the wild from multiple men of crazy shit they did to her. And you're gonna make this woman your wife? Bro. Bruh. Emotional, damn it. Hell no. Go to where you're appreciated. Do not settle for less, gentlemen.
Depends on what stage the man's life is in.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Between 20 and 30 years old, they want just to have fun. But after it, then they just realize that probably they need to settle down and they just need to be loved.
Do you think men care more about relationships or hookups?
Relationships. I would say hookups. Just being real.
Does it depend on what stage the man's life is in?
I think in a lot of scenarios, when men are older, they tend to calm down, but it really depends on the man.
So do men want purity or do men want sex?
Both.
If men want purity, wouldn't that mean men have to wait until marriage? And haven't we established men shouldn't be getting married under the current laws?
No. I don't think marriage equals purity.
If you mean by pure, you mean straight up like nothing up until marriage. Or if you mean like pure as in like a decent, good person that you love and stuff like that.
Who is more delusional? A woman seeking a 1% man that's loyal, or a man seeking a perfect 10 woman with zero body count?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with the woman, because there are some women that you can find that are bad with a zero body count. They're out there that are of legal age that are out there.
Not in the West, my boy.
Why is the manosphere mainly concerned about promiscuity and masculinity rather than misandry?
I think that the manosphere is more focused on promiscuity and masculinity, simply because the manosphere talks to women to tell women what men want. So when a woman hates us, we're not worried about it. You know, we're not focused on it. We're not going to get emotional about it. That's just what it is.
Do we shame women more for being hoes or men for being simps?
I think women. It's women, most definitely.
We shame men for being simps much more than we shame women for being hoes, especially in this environment now, simply because, I mean, if you're spending money, if you're spending money that you don't have, especially on a woman, it's just irresponsible. For a woman to be a hoe, even though it's irresponsible, we just try not to shame women as much as possible.
Can men be improved by shaming them?
Yes.
Absolutely. Men can be improved by shaming it, because
Absolutely.
we actually take shame in a different way than women do. So if you shame us, more likely we're going to respond with accepting what our problem is and building and working on that.
Can women be improved by shaming them?
Yes.
From my experience, women do not do well with shame. So
it has to be socially enforced by the community at large, because one person shaming them, they completely roll off their shoulders, no accountability whatsoever. But when all of society shames a certain behavior and there's no escaping it, right? And you threaten their reputation, and groupthink is very powerful in women, that's when socially enforced stigmas stick. Otherwise, good luck. You're just an asshole. You're just a woman hater. You're a misogynist. You're a patriarchal pig, blah, blah, blah. So they could discard and completely ignore what one man might have to say. But when all of society says it, that social reinforcement 100% will be followed 99% of the time. We have to leave room for some of the damaged people that can't be saved.
It will probably be better to just not shame women, find an easier way to tell women where they're wrong and where they're right.
If women won't change for men, why do we keep expecting men to step up and change for women?
That's a good question, man. You need to, hey, look, you need to stop doing that shit. If you're going to change for yourself. Don't change for her, man, because she ain't going to change for you.
A lot of relationship issues are the man's fault mainly, but I think it's a good mentality on both sides to consider themselves more of the fault, because it helps you leave the ego behind when you're trying to improve something.
I think the most important thing for men is to be malleable, to be able to work with the environment around us. So I think it's more important for us to be able to maneuver and to be able to work with what we have, rather than expect women to deal with the situations that we have.
It's complicated. Body count. See you on the next one.